Now, a great use of electricity is, of course, to make light. And we've probably all got lights all over our house, and electricity powers light. So I just want to quickly run through how old-fashioned light globes work, and I'll tell you maybe a little bit about new-fashioned light globes. But what I've got here is I've got a picture of a light globe, and I'll tell you what happens to make light. So basically, what happens is electricity flows from the main power supply, so that would be down here somewhere. It flows up through these wires up to here, and then it flows along this little bit of metal here. It's kind of a bit bright. That's actually called a filament, and the filaments of light globes is what makes them bright. And the filaments are often made of a special metal called tungsten. So the electricity flows up this wire, it flows along the filament, and then down this wire back to the electric circuit, and then the circuit would be completed. So electricity can flow all the way around this circuit. There'd probably be a switch here somewhere, but the filament is really the key part of the light globe. So what happens here is when electricity flows along this filament here, the filament gets really, really red hot, and it gets so red hot that it actually emits light. So all light globes do is they heat up a bit of metal until it gets red hot or white hot, and then that white hot metal emits light. And that's really all old-fashioned light globes are, a really hot piece of metal which emits light. Now, unfortunately, old-fashioned light globes aren't really very efficient because lots of the electricity is converted into heat. So if you've ever touched an old light globe, you'll find that they're emitting light, but they also get really, really hot. So they're not super duper efficient, but they are really, really good at creating light. New light globes, like fluorescent light globes, electricity runs them still, but in fact what happens is the electrical energy powers a gas, or gives its energy to a gas inside the fluorescent light, and then that gas itself basically emits a light, and that's how fluorescent light globes work. So it's not a piece of metal getting hot and shining a light. In fluorescent light globes, it's a gas which basically absorbs the electrical energy and emits a light energy. So old-fashioned light globes aren't as energy efficient as new fluorescent light globes, but they still do a pretty good job at making light.